Okay, let's see, is that on? Check, check, check. 1, 2. We back in the saddle, baby. Hello everybody, my name is Kate Olaf and welcome to my channel. Today I am actually holding an open house. We've had a couple people come through, so it's been really exciting, and I thought this is actually the perfect house for the topic of the video that I want to talk about today, which is how to get your house ready to sell. So when you are getting your house ready to sell, there are a few things that you want to keep in mind, and for this video I'm going to be going over 6 of them. Now, the first thing you want to do when you're getting your house ready to sell is take care of all the deferred maintenance. These could be little holes in the wall or caulking that needs to be redone. These are really little things around the house that buyers are going to notice when they're walking through, and it may not be a big deal to you, but to them it's just going to throw them off with the whole house. So for instance, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about. So we are in the garage and there's just this little hole in the ceiling. So like that little hole in the ceiling, little nails, they're kind of dumb and you really may not notice, but to some buyers it may be kind of a big deal, and it says a lot about the rest of the house. So when you're getting your house ready to sell, make sure to take care of all the little deferred maintenance. Tip number 2 is to declutter your home. Now, for this home that I'm holding the open house in, there's actually no furniture at all, so I can't really show you. But if you're someone that just has a lot of stuff in their home, it's really gonna irritate some buyers to the point where they feel like the home is small because you have so much stuff crammed in there. So if you could declutter your home, make the space feel a lot bigger, you are gonna get a better attraction from buyers and they're really gonna like the home. The third tip is to brighten up your home. So for instance, if you have any dark colored walls, you want to replace that with lighter colored walls. You want to make the space feel open. For instance, the color of these walls in this house are like a lighter tan. It's very nice to the eye, white ceilings. Also, for when you're showing the home, you want to make sure that all the blinds are kept open and all the lights are on. This ensures that when buyers walk through the home, they're really going to appreciate the fact that it's light, it's airy, and it doesn't feel damp or dark and restricted. Some colors that I recommend if you want to paint over a darker color is light gray, white, or even a light tan. Alrighty, for tip number 4, we're going outside. And this is probably the most important tip of all. Oof. All right, so we're outside right now. Goodness, look at my hair. So we're outside right now, and the 4th tip that you want to consider is curb appeal. So when a buyer walks up to the property, how does the curb appeal make them feel? You want them to feel like home. You don't want it to be overgrown bushes and rocks everywhere. You want it to be really clean. So again, this house is an open house I'm doing, and it's a great example of what you want. So you can see all the bushes are trimmed back, the trees are trimmed back, the rocks aren't all over the place, and it's a very pretty and subtle entry into the home. This is exactly what you want. You don't want garbage all on the front patio. You want it clean, you want it nice. Again, that way when buyers walk up, they can imagine themselves walking into their home, right? We don't want your home, we want buyers to feel like it's theirs. All right, I had to come inside because it was just so windy and I started to like sneeze and my eyes were getting itchy. So I wanted to quickly go over something that actually confirms the curb appeal point, and it's called confirmation bias. So basically, first impressions are everything, right? So when the buyer walks up to the property, they want to be impressed, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of the showing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I walked up to this house and I really enjoyed the curb appeal. I said, wow, this is cute. I come inside, I start walking around, and I notice maybe the kitchen is a little smaller than I would want. And because I liked the front house, my mind is basically gonna confirm that the small kitchen is kind of okay and I'll put up with it, just because I confirmed in my head already that I somewhat like the house based on the curb appeal. And that's why curb appeal is so important. It really sets the tone for the rest of the property, and if people like the front of the house, they're really gonna enjoy the rest of it and maybe even consider it even if they don't like certain aspects. So confirmation bias, curb appeal, it's very important. Okay, now tip number 5. And again, because I'm in a house that is vacant, I can't really show you what this means, but I'll do my best. So number 5 is to depersonalize your home. When a buyer walks in your property, they don't necessarily want to see a bunch of family photos and personalized items, because honestly, it feels like they're invading your space and it can make them feel a little awkward. So, I mean, because this house is vacant, you can obviously, there's nothing, no furniture, no pictures, no family photos, nothing like that, to where when a buyer comes in, it would make them feel awkward. Imagine how it would make you feel, right? Like, I've been to a couple houses where you walk in and you just kind of see these people's personal items, you see their personal things, and it's just kind of eerie, kind of like a little weird. So yeah, if you've ever had the experience of that, then you know what I'm talking about. Make sure that when you're selling your home, you depersonalize your house and you just put items away. One tip that I've heard is you can always just put the items in a box and put them away. If your house is still furnished, you could just put them away in the garage and keep them away for showings. That way people don't feel as awkward when they're walking through the house. And number 6, this is the most important tip besides the curb appeal one, and that is to interview agents. So when you go to sell your house, you're most likely going to be using a realtor to help you sell your home. And there's 2 aspects that I want you to very, very highly consider when you use an agent. One of the things you want to ask is, what kind of marketing are they going to be using when they are selling your home? Because it actually comes out of an agent's pocket to pay for photos, video, and blast it all over the internet. This is going to be the first thing that people see of your house. You want to have great professional pictures, and if an agent doesn't take the time or money to spend on professional photography, for me personally, I would not consider them. Because again, your ads on the internet are the first thing that people see. And so you want to get them in the property. And if your photos are awful, people aren't even going to take the time to go out of their way to come and look at it in person. So make sure you ask your agent, whoever you're interviewing, if they use professional photography and what their marketing looks like. Also, do your research. A lot of realtors do a lot of business, so go look at some of their old listings, go look at their social media profiles, go look at how they market properties. And if that's something you agree with and that's something you want, then I highly recommend you use that realtor. The second most important tip that you should consider when hiring a realtor is how they communicate. This is huge, and probably the biggest thing when using an agent is how they communicate with you. How accessible are they? If you text them, how soon do they text back? If you call them, do they pick up right away, or do they never pick up your calls? How well do they communicate? This is gonna make or break the real estate transaction for you, as well as for the buyer and the buyer's agent. Because we as agents have to be in communication with a lot of people all the time. And so if an agent is not readily accessible to help you with your needs, that is not an agent you want representing you with the biggest transaction of your life. So I do want to say that I did take those tips from another YouTuber. I can't even remember who it is at the time right now, but I just want to thank you to whoever that guy is. Those are great tips, and I personally recommend them highly. I don't necessarily care how much you sell. I don't necessarily care how much experience you have. How accessible are you, and how do you market my property? That's the most important thing for me, as well as I think a lot of buyers. So that's going to do it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I hope you enjoy the tips. If you're a seller looking to sell, my name's Cade Olaf. I am a realtor down here in Southern Arizona. I would love to represent you, and I'd be more than honored. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Also commenting down below what your favorite tip was. Again, my name is Cade Olaf, and I will see you in the next one.